All right, hello everyone. Today I'm going to be giving a presentation on North Georgia. As someone from there, I feel like I should be giving an objective guide to what you should look for, what you should look out for, and just kind of the ropes of the place. So let's get into it. First off, let's talk about what North Georgia is. What is North Georgia? So here we have a picture of the beautiful state that we live. So obviously South Georgia is not North Georgia. That's pretty obvious. This is a whole other thing going down here that I don't want to deal with. But crazy enough, West Georgia is also not North Georgia. North Georgia is just this, part up here. And I've asked a few people about this, and they kind of agree. Mainly because I believe that I-85 is more culturally, more culturally binded in the South, and especially in Georgia, North Carolina, than I-75 is, because I-75 goes through the whole state, or through the whole country. Same with I-20, but I-85 especially, you're going northeast from here. This is North Georgia, basically. So you got North Georgia, West Georgia, and South Georgia. East Georgia doesn't exist. So, kind of rehashing what I said. West Georgia's not part of North Georgia. South Georgia's not part of North Georgia. And remember, this is objective fact. I'm not making this up. And you ask anybody, they would say the same. So, what are the important counties? So this is like you're getting up in North Georgia. This is North Georgia right here. So, these are the counties that matter, with some stipulation. I found this picture off of like Wikipedia or something. Elbert County is not part of North Georgia. That's basically South Carolina. You're getting real close to Augusta there. It's pretty much central Georgia, middle Georgia. Dawson and Forsyth County, that's Metro Atlanta. This is the counties that aren't Metro Atlanta, I would say, is North Georgia. So Dawson and Forsyth, you can get out of here. You're just Atlanta. And then Union County, you're kind of skirting the line. I'll allow it. You're getting up to mountainous areas there. But I mean, Towns is like half mountainous. Raven is pretty mountainous up in the north. So Union can stay, but like you're getting over to Fannin and Gilmer, past this border here of North Carolina and Tennessee. You're getting over to like north middle, western Georgia. So what's going on with this place? What's some stuff to know? So the average elevation is super high. Like all the high points in Georgia are in this area. Brasstown Bald, the highest peak in Georgia, is 4,700 feet above sea level, and that's comparing Florida's highest elevation here, and it's about like 15 times higher than Florida's highest point. So really high when you get up to this part of Georgia. The northern border is just a line of latitude, kind of. Technically there was two surveying groups, and they started on each side of the state, and they came and met in Towns County, and then there was a little line drawn to just match that border. So it's not perfectly a straight line, but fun fact. And then the right border the eastern border is a river, the Tugly River, and it turns into Lake Hartwell, which then turns into the Savannah River. So here we got a little picture. You can see that little line that I was talking about in Towns County, and then this is all a river right here going down south to Savannah. So what are the counties? Let's talk about the counties, each individually. So here's Habersham County. This is the old courthouse in Clarksville. This is where it all happens. This is mainly just like a drive-through county. People coming from Atlanta or Gainesville are going to drive through here to go up to Rabun County if they want to go up, to Tallulah Falls or to Clayton or whatever, or up to North Carolina. Population of 46,000. A lot of that's coming from Clarksville and Cornelia. You got Tallulah Gorge for important landmarks. Tallulah Gorge, Joseph Habersham's house, Clarksville Lanes, great bowling alley. Schoolbus Graveyard's a pretty cool tourist destination to look out for. You got Goodwill, This place is kind of boring. You'll find some gems though when you're driving through or going through. Spend any time in Habersham, you'll find some gems. Um, for it being such a small county, though, you got a lot of incorporated cities. So you got Clarksville, Cornelia, Tula Falls, Alto, Baldwin, Demarest, Mount Airy, and then you have like little communities of Batesville and Turnerville, which are up in the north. But basically, everything north of like right here is just considered Clarksville, except for Tula Falls. But all this is like the zip code under Clarksville. So yeah, here we have some pictures of Habersham. We got Tallulah Gorge, Joseph Habersham's house, Schoolbus Graveyard, Clarksville Lanes, great bowling alley. Would recommend. I was gonna originally do this for every county, but this is really the only thing I can find for Habersham. And after this, I was like, this is all I'm gonna find for everything, for every county. Honestly, pretty cool that an MLB Hall of Famer is from Habersham, but past that, I mean, that's pretty much it. So, after talking about that, let's move on to Raven County, the county to the north. Pretty cool and quaint county, you know, little population, 17,000. It's the only county that borders both Carolinas, which is pretty cool because on this like corner up here, you got Raven Bald. This is where you start getting into the mountains up here. This, start of the Appalachian Mountains, and then for like cities, you got Clayton, Tiger, Dillard, Sky Valley's up here too. Clayton's downtown is pretty nice. That's this right here. And then, oh no, Raven County Sheriff. Don't go too fast going through Clayton. So, Towns County. Nice little lake. This is where you start to get mountainy as well, especially once you move over west in Georgia on this northern border. Population is very low. Like I said, this place is too beautiful for it to be this little. Great views up here. The lake, Young Harris College, Brasstown Bald are all in Towns County. The only pretty much important town is Hiawassee. Young Harris and Tate City, I mean, those are basically communities. I think they're incorporated, but Young Harris is basically just a college. Tate City is just a bunch of hicks. So, yeah, here's Brasstown Bald. You can drive up to it. It's pretty nice. You got the highest point in Georgia, so pretty much looking at everything from here. I think you can see 4 or 5 states from here, maybe more on a good day. Now we're getting over to Union County. This is for real mountain country. You're starting to get, a little more mountainy. Population of about 25,000, pretty average for this area. Brasstown Bald, the mountain goes between Towns and Union, so it kind of is on that border. A lot of borders up here are made up by mountains, by the way, so it makes sense that the highest one would also be a border. Vogel State Park is also up here, as well as the lake, Nautilus Lake, and then the only important city is Brasstown, or not Brasstown, Blairsville. There's literally nothing else. So here is Vogel State Park. Here is Blairsville. This isn't a hyperlink, but I would click it. It's basically just someone driving from Suches to Blairsville, and you can see how windy the roads are once you're up here. But I will not play that, but you can look up this link if you want to watch that for yourself. It's like a time lapse. All right, White County. This is a tourist paradise, population of 28,000, for it being such a hot spot for North Georgia. I feel like it should be bigger. Important landmarks, Helen, people from all over the world come to Helen. I've been there plenty. It's really not that crazy. It's just a cool little place to go on the weekend, but you go in October, forget it. There's one way in that city and one way out, and if you go during October, especially a weekend, you're stuck in traffic for 2 hours. Cabbage Patch House is down in Cleveland. Cool River Tubing is in Helen on the Chattahoochee. And then, your important towns, Cleveland and Helen are really the only cities, and then Sawtee and Akoochee is just basically a mixture of the two. So here you got the Cabbage Patch House, pretty fun, and then Helen, it's Helen. Lumpkin County, I did go to college here, go Nighthawks. Population of about 34,000. That population is literally just either 20-year-olds or 60 or 70-year-olds. Um, the only city here is Dahlonega, and the important landmarks are just everything near Dahlonega. UNG, uh, Dahlonega Square, the gold mine. This is where like the initial gold rush happened in Georgia, and then Johnny B's. Gotta love Johnny B's. Um, so there's campus and the downtown, or like the square. Dawson County, I'll still talk about it. Um, this is technically the closest Burger King to UNG. So I got a lot of milkshakes there, about a 20-minute drive. So uh, not too convenient, but I digress. 28,000 people live here. Said literally how. I don't know if I meant that as too big or too small, but for it being Metro Atlanta, maybe I meant it was too small. You got Austin Bill from Dawsonville that's from here. There's the city hall, or maybe it's the county. Dawson County is like the courthouse or whatever is all themed around that. And you got Miller's Ale House, great place to eat and drink. The only city here, just like Lumpkin, Dawsonville. That's pretty much it. Dawsonville City Hall is just all racing themed for Bill Elliott. And then there's the outlets in Dawsonville to go shop at near Miller's Ale House. All right, Forsyth County. This is where you're really getting into Metro Atlanta. Dawson County, you're kind of skirting the line, but this especially, 400 going up through here. 400 ends in Dawson County, so that's kind of where that line stops. But 400 goes from Atlanta all the way through here. Funny name. 260,000 people live here. That's crazy. Very suburban. This is where people from Atlanta go to get out of the city. I'll talk about more of that in the next county we talk about coming. All right, Hall County. For little kid me, going to Gainesville was like the highlight of the quarter, pretty much. I wouldn't say the year, I wouldn't say the month, but the quarter going to Gainesville, pretty sick. Like I was talking about with Forsyth County though, this is kind of like a middle ground between, rednecks coming in and being like, oh, I'm going to go to the city for the day. But then it's also like what people from Atlanta say when they come up here is they're getting out of the city. So depending on who you are, you're either coming in to the city or going out of the city. So it's kind of a cool little melting pot for every Georgian. Crazy high population for it not being technically Metro Atlanta. I would still count it. 985 goes up through here. Stops about like right here somewhere. But yeah, kind of say that here. Rednecks go into the city. But again, Atlanta people say they're going out of the city if they're coming up here. The FDR Tornado Memorial is up here. All the stuff are kind of around the square, like all the government buildings was funded by FDR after the tornado of 1936. Still stands today. And then Lake Lanier. Don't go to Lake Lanier. It's so deadly. And, you got Gainesville, Claremont, Lula, Oakwood, Flowery Branch. So here we got that Roosevelt Memorial I was talking about. This building back here was like the city hall. I don't know if it still is, but it was funded by FDR. Here's Lake Lanier and some islands and probably some property on here somewhere. And then this is Jesse Jewell Parkway, Brenau University. You're kind of the main road going through Gainesville, as well as the Bridge to Nowhere that actually goes somewhere now. So pretty cool. We got Banks County. This is really the country's country. This is like really, really, if you're thinking like rural South, probably thinking of Banks County. 18,000 people. There's a lot of development going on here, so I think it might go up a little bit in the next census. Homer is a pretty cool spot to land in if you're doing some sightseeing, as well as Banks Crossing is a pretty cool shopping area center. I think Homer is the only technically city in Banks County, so they got that going for it. You got the old jail going, uh, near Homer Center, and then this is Banks Crossing when it flooded. I don't remember how long ago. Pretty long ago, because um, Chipotle and Whataburger aren't here, but Zaxby still is. But yeah, it's a bad rainstorm, I think it was. All right, Franklin County. This is another drive-through county, I would say. Don't think anybody's going to argue with me on that, but Habersham in this one, just this one to a much greater extent because you got I-85 going through it. 23,000 population, very average. Those pickle marts here in Livonia, Duncan in Livonia, I-85 going through here. Duncan in Livonia is kind of wild. I guess it's on I-85, so it makes sense, but kind of crazy that it came. Carnesville, Livonia, Cannon, Gumlaw, Royston as well. All somewhat important cities in the county. There's Dills. There's pretty sure that's Livonia. Could be what was it, Carnesville downtown area. And then last but certainly least, Stevens County. All my homies hate Toccoa. It's just so boring. Toccoa is such a trash can of a city. 26,000 people. Really, the only landmark is like Toccoa Falls, which, even though it's got Toccoa in the name, I'll admit it's a pretty cool waterfall. Important towns, there's really none. And then here's Toccoa Falls stuff. The college and the actual landmark. So that's it. Hopefully you learned something about North Georgia. And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. And I'll see you later. Peace.